is working. So we are doing a review, and not so much a review, but I didn't really know what to name this, but it is a look inside the Bible recap Bible, 365-day chronological study Bible. Which when I saw this come out, I was really excited about it, because I've done the Bible in a year for 4 years. And, I was like, well, I do this so often that it's probably worth, getting the Bible and checking it out. And so I wanted to hop on here and review this with y'all. So if anybody is in the chat, go ahead and shoot me a message in the chat. I'm just streaming this live, but we're going to go ahead and take a look at it. So again, this is the Bible Recap Bible 365-day chronological study Bible. So let's start by taking a look. I got the baby pink version of it. It comes in, I want to say, like 3 different colors. Maybe it's blue, like a brown vegan leather, and this is the baby pink vegan leather, I believe. So let's just take a look now. We've got the spine here, and it's kind of like engraved with the Bible Recap Bible, and it is the English Standard Version. All right, and then if we look on the side here, we've got some gold foil like edge pages, which is really cute, really nice. And now let's open it up, and we also have the pink ribbon here to mark our spot. So let's go ahead and get a flip through going. You have the page that says presented to, from, date. And then we're in here. We've got the Bible Recap 365-day, Tara-Leigh Cobble, General Editor. All right, now let's get into it. Here we have the table of contents here. So when you open up the table of contents, you see that it's organized by the chronological reading plan. So you see day 1 goes with what the reading plan is. So let me just get a little bit closer. There we go. We can get focused in there. So we have the reading plan, and you can see like day 1, Genesis 1-3. That's what you're reading. And so that's how we see the table of contents is organized. Go out a little bit. All right, so let's keep going and flipping through. Really like how it's all easily laid out here. All right, so now we get to a letter from Tara-Leigh Cobble, and it's kind of just like an encouragement and things that you should keep in mind when reading the Bible. Reading the Bible in a year and kind of doing this plan. And so I'm just going to read an excerpt from this first page of what she says. And she says, "For years, I struggled with Bible reading, even though I was in full-time ministry. Not only was the scripture challenging to understand, but the challenge also left me with a lack of desire. Every day I felt defeated before I even started, and many days I didn't start at all. Eventually, I learned I was making 3 primary mistakes that held me back from understanding and loving scripture." So, and she goes through mistake number 1, mistake number 2, and then mistake number 3. And so it's just a letter from her before you actually get into reading the Bible in a year. And so then it talks about how to use this book, which is very helpful. Also, she has a companion kind of podcast that you listen to before you get into reading the Bible in a year and listening to the recaps, which I find really helpful. And then we have a preface to the ESV. Keep on going. And then we have an explanation of the features. It talks about textual footnotes. It talks about types of textual footnotes, the different types of that. And now we get into the super fun part, the recaps and chronological reading plan. So let's dive in and see how basically the bulk of this Bible is constructed. All right, so immediately we see on the side margins here, day 1, Genesis 1-3, and I'm immediately loving the margin space that we have here for taking notes. So my Bible note taker besties, get this? Like, yes, we love some space to take notes. I also like this page here. It makes me want to do like a Genesis overview page over here. So I'm already getting the wheels turning. I'm really thinking that this is going to be my Bible for 2026. Honestly, I kind of am setting a semi-lofty goal for myself of, reading the Bible in a year, which I have done like 4 times before, but I haven't actually sat down and taken notes, like maybe just high overview notes. I don't want to get too much in the weeds with the note taking because I want to really focus on what the text is saying and digest it. But it's something that I'm really considering doing. I have read the Bible in a year and like crocheted a blanket, and that was really fun. So we have still that same margin space, day 1 up top, and the page number. And then after you finish your daily reading for the day, I love the size of the text too. So let's just dive a little closer into, let me flip back a page and see. This is a really good size text. I love that. All right, so let's go out. And then once we get to the end of our reading, we have the recap here. So if you listen to the Bible recap by TLC, so like pretty much if you're completely new to this and like you're just now diving in, I'm just going to give you a little bit of context. So you have your reading for the day. So for example, in this one, we're reading Genesis 1-3. And then after that, you would listen to the podcast episode, which is the recap, hence the Bible recap. And essentially, she's kind of going over what we read for the day, like kind of high level things that she wants to call out here. And then she does her God shot, which if we flip over, we see what today's God shot is. And so she kind of challenges the listener or the viewer or the reader to think about, what was your God shot? This was my God shot. And she kind of shares what today's God shot is. So your God shot may be different, maybe the same, but I love how it's all in one space. So I'm a person who listens to the Bible while I'm reading it, or just listens in general. But I also like to read as well. And so I think this will be really good, but also just a challenge to really lock in and focus during my Bible study time when I'm going through the Bible in a year. So if we keep going, we see that each day kind of has a similar construction of the reading for the day, the recap, and the God shot. So now we're just going to go ahead and flip towards the back to see what's back here. And we have the scripture index in canon order. There we go. And then we also have, let's keep going. And then we have the Bible recap notes. So I'm thinking that this is anything that she might have referenced during the recap portion, she puts back here. And so if we look at page 28, let's just take a look at one of them and see how that shows up in our Bible. Oh, wait, yeah, page 28. Sorry, guys. I'm feeling like if I do this a lot more, like often, it's just going to get easier. But the first step is doing, right? Okay. So it says page 28, and then I'm thinking somewhere in here might be the reference to this. Oh wait, no, not page 28. I think this is part of the reference. Day 67. Okay. Way off here. Let's find day 67. Oh my gosh. Who has like kids or like is around kids, like middle schoolers? I teach a preteen Bible class and they're always like 6'7", 6'7". So I'm sure like they would have said that. Anywho, let's see. Day 67. Yep, it looks like. Is there a reference here? So it looks like probably in her recap, she probably used this as a source. So, yeah. I don't think it's specifically referenced, but she probably used it as a source. So it's good to know that, oh, okay, yeah, there's a lot of, she cites her sources, which is a good practice to do. So yeah, that's pretty much what this Bible looks like. We're looking at the pages, how the pages feel. I mean, the pages feel like Bible pages, like nothing thick, like my Dayspring illustrating Bible, which is kind of basically my main Bible, along with my journaling Bible from Crossway. Those pages are a lot thicker because it's meant for note takers, Bible journalers, things like that. This I could say is kind of targeted towards those who take those notes because, so you see the margin space here, but the paper is like thin, like typical Bible paper. So yes, you know what? Right now would actually be a good time to test out what the bleed through looks like. So I'm going to use some of the tools that I basically use. So I use mild liners a lot. This Hobonichi Techo pen by Uni, I use this a lot. This is like my main Bible writing pen, Bible note taking pen. And then also these I've been loving. It's the Pentel. I just got these, but these are the Pentel Intergel Liquid Gel ink and 0.7 tip, and this is a 0.5 or a 0.5 tip, I believe. And then also, you got your classic mild liners, which everybody is probably familiar with. So I'm actually going to flip to the front, and we're just going to do a quick test of what this bleed through looks like. So let's see, let's go here. Where do I want to test this? Let's test it right here. We're going to test it right here. Okay. So we've got the mild liner. So we're going to test it with 3 different colors and see what it looks like. This is actually going to be interesting, especially if I plan on using this quite a bit next year. And then here is with my Hobonichi Techo Uni Pen. And then this is with a gel ink pen. Wouldn't be shocked if this bled through quite a bit. So let's see. I love how this pen writes. Oh my gosh, it's a dream. It's a dream to really write on this paper too. It's really nice. Beautiful. All right, so now let's go ahead and see what that looks like on the other side. All right, so you can see that we do have some, but it's not bad. Like with this lighter color that I used, this lighter lavender color, it really doesn't look like it bled through too much. You can see it here kind of at the ends of my highlighter markings. And then honestly, the test with the Hobonichi pen didn't really bleed through, but the paper isn't super thick, so you're gonna see the outline of you're gonna see the actual writing. And then with the gel ink, it bled through a little bit in certain spots, but it's not too terrible. Yeah, I could see it becoming an issue potentially if I'm when I start really writing notes on the margins and then just seeing it bleed through. Because what I don't like is when I'm writing and then I see what I wrote on the other side just so vividly that I can't even see the other side. I can't even see what I'm writing on this side. So we'll just see how that experience is. After I go through the Bible in a year next time, I'm going to check back in and do another review after actually having used this Bible on a more frequent basis. But right now, she's brand spanking new and ready to be used. So I definitely want to check back in and do a follow-up review for sure. So thank you for tuning in to this review of the Bible recap and this look inside of the Bible recap Bible 365-day chronological study Bible. So let me know in the comments, is this a Bible that you will be getting? Is this a Bible that you are thinking about? Yeah, let me know. Thank you for watching this video, and yeah, consider subscribing for sure. Bye, y'all.